I think we're live.
Good evening, Phoenix Nation. Don't mind us.
Yeah, you know, it's just that kind of a month.
Yep. And it's that time of the week where you joined us here at the Feinics podcast.
Yes.
Once again, I am Josh Feinics. And
I'm Jade Feinics.
And we're coming to you live from the Phoenix Nest.
Yes. And once again, if you see us looking up, it's because, again, I still have not fixed my computer issue, even though I tried all day. And, yeah. So, thank you for joining us. As always, we love having you. And, do we want to do shout-outs today? Let's do some shout-outs. I think we should do some shout-outs. I mean, if you guys were on our Instagram, was I at the concert yesterday or the day before? I was at the concert on Monday night,
night.
I went to see Black Label Society at the Bowery Ballroom. I haven't been to the Bowery in, God, a decade?
It's been
a long time.
It's been longer
And, the show was fucking epic. I mean, big shout out to the Bowery Ballroom and Black Label Society for putting on yet another epic fucking rock show. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I got to fucking sit there and enjoy it. And yes, I'm adjusting my pants. Deal with it. Big shout out to the second rounds on us, New York City and Florida edition. So cheers to them and the All In Digital Network.
We'll cheers to them very soon.
Yeah.
Is anybody else we got to shout out? Oh, the All In Digital Network.
Our digital overlords.
Yes, digital overlords.
Yep.
Resistance is futile.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I guess I could mention is find me at Terminal 5 tomorrow for Kill Switch Engage. 2 concerts in 1 week. Only me.
No, I've done 2 concerts in a week. We've done 2 concerts in a week.
Yes, we have.
We've done 3 concerts in a week.
Yes, we have. And then I guess next week I'll be at East Coast Comic Con, but we can cover that in next week's cast.
Yep.
So I think it's that time of the hour.
It is that time of the hour. It's time for everybody's segment here on the Phoenix podcast, and that's Epic Beer Snobbery!
I'm not partaking this week. I'm once again being an alcoholic and drinking hard liquor. More Jack for me.
Now, for those of you that did the smart thing and tuned into our Facebook, our Twitter, or our Instagram, I did upload that this week. I will be reviewing Paradise Pucker from the Rogue Brewery in Newport, Oregon.
Jeez.
Now, little side note about Rogue Brewery. 1, they make really fucking awesome beer. 2nd, they have a partnership with Voodoo Donuts, and they put out a Voodoo Donut beer every year.
Oh, that's right. You've actually let me try that in the past, and it is so good.
And I'm pretty sure I still have 2 of the bottles that could be made into lamps. Shout out to Drunken Enlightenment on Facebook.
Which, you know, we still have to give Caitlin her lamp.
I know. Life has gotten in the way. But since Paradise Pucker is a bottle, I figured I would bring out my special beer opener, which I acquired from the Spider Bite Brewing Company in Holbrook, Long Island.
Yeah!
It is actually made from a piece of the bourbon barrels they use to make a beer.
Very cool.
And then they screwed a penny onto it, so you had the little fulcrum. So, there's that. Let me get it real close.
Get real close so we get that noise.
Ooh, that was a good one. And the Paradise Pucker is a fine ale crafted with natural passion fruit, orange, and guava flavors.
Ooh, guava.
Guava.
How fancy.
How exotic. Alright, so let's see what we got. Oh, sorry, alcohol.
Alcohol content?
6%, so that's actually not too bad.
Ooh, not bad at all. I like it. I like it a lot.
Actually, I like it.
Yeah?
All the flavor notes are on there. You can taste the guava, you can taste the passion fruit, the orange. And it's not super tart with all that, no.
You'd think with all that citrus that it would have that little bite at the end of it.
You know you want it.
I do, always. I mean, come on, Paradise Pucker, you'd think it would be like, kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, it's got a nice tartness to it.
That's good.
Quiet.
As always, the Phoenix Gate Pups have made their presence known. Cállate la boca!
Cállate, pera.
That's what they do. It's what they say. It's always...
But yeah, the Paradise Pucker.
I That's
great.
good. I
It's really
definitely,
good.
yeah, I would. Hey, Zig, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Ziggo.
I definitely would give that a second round all around.
Oh, I would do
That
a
is
second,
delicious.
Third. This is, and with the summer weather coming up, this would be great.
This would
like
be
grilling
great, yeah.
Over the summer.
Yeah, that is a really, really good beer. I mean, okay, I did Epic Beer Snobbery at the Black Label concert. I did the Goose Island IPA, and I was like, I'm sorry,
You don't like IPAs, it's fine.
I've tried IPAs. There are certain ones I like. Let's not get it twisted.
Like this one.
Like that one. But for the most part, I don't like IPAs. They leave a weird aftertaste in the back of my throat.
It's a very hoppy, herby aftertaste.
Especially the Goose Island one. So
Goose Island does. I have had Goose Island IPA before. And
we
it does
had
have
we had that actually. It was the featured beer at Monster Mania. Was it Goose Island?
No, it was by Goose Island Brewery, but it was a different beer.
Right, but this was just Goose Island IPA.
Yes.
Personally, I've never been a fan of any IPA. That's fine, dude. Neither have I.
Well, I agree that I've heard that from a lot of people.
Liquor.
Before you completely write off IPA, see if you can find yourself some Hippocratic Oath by Great South Bay Brewery.
That's actually very good. It depends on the IPA.
Yes.
That is a good IPA.
This is not an IPA at all.
Well, you know what I mean.
This is a good beer.
This is a good beer. I would like that beer for myself. Just for chilling, barbecuing. It's almost summertime. The weather's been fucking beautiful when it's not raining. So, yeah.
I just had a completely random idea.
What?
You know, there's the concept of like beer floats, where like a stout with vanilla ice cream and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Imagine this with like some really natural ingredient, like rainbow sherbet.
Ooh.
That may have to happen.
Ooh. I think we should do a segment of Epic Beer Snobbery experimentation.
With Professor Josh Feinics! Where
I think I like it.
I like it a lot.
I think I like that idea.
I like it a lot.
I think it'll be a summer series where we
Yeah.
experiment with different summery ales and try to figure out good ways like to create a better beer float. How's that?
Oh, that's a good idea for the summer. And
I
then
like
when
that
we get
idea.
to the colder weather,
Yes.
we can go to the official Epic Beer Snobbery snobby ass Irish car bomb. Which is a little known thing that I've been doing for years, and that's finding different craft stouts and different cream liqueurs and doing Irish car bombs with them to varied results.
This is true.
Very, very varied results.
This is true.
If you get I found if you get like a good chocolate stout,
Oof.
you can, and you do.
And we've
a
had
shot-
good chocolate
Yeah.
stouts on Epic
But
Beer
if you
Snobbery.
do a shot, you have the JMO on top, but it's the strawberry Baileys with a chocolate stout.
Yeah.
I've done that, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, that's good shit. All right,
But yeah, so if you can
we're gonna
find
put
some-
a pin in that.
Yeah.
We're copywriting it. It's our idea. Fuck you. Don't steal it.
Yep. Now, again, if you can find some Paradise Pucker by Rogue, I found it personally in Westbury, Long Island at the big beer warehouse over there by Costco. It's really, really good, and they have a great beer selection. And sometimes they're even doing beer tastings. They're always doing some sort of tasting where there's fancy cheeses or stuff.
Cheese.
And for those of you that aren't a fan of beer, right next door there is a wine emporium as well, and they have a lot of bottles of wine, and they do wine tastings.
Nom, 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 nom.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I gave a little shout out to the beer and the liquor empire over there in Westbury.
Yes.
So definitely check them out because they have a great selection. They also have a great selection of hard liquor as well. Whiskeys, vodkas, tequila.
I'm drinking whiskey tonight.
Yep. So
It's actually not a bad concoction.
it's not.
No, it's
Very
not.
good.
It's good. Any green stores? I don't know. Ask him.
Green.
Green.
Stores? I know what he's talking about.
But not in Westbury. I thought
Not in Westbury,
Where
not
do
gonna-
you go? You go Port. Where do you? I don't. Port Washington.
Something like that. So,
We'll
somewhere
talk
in
to
that
you
way.
about it off camera.
Mm-hmm.
So, either way.
Yes.
So this beer is a
It's
winner.
fucking phenomenal.
It's a winner in our Epic Beer Snobbery list.
I give it 10 tail feathers up.
Woo! I will give it also 10 tail feathers up. So, we like it. We like it. We like it.
Yep.
We like it. Like, I'm wagging my tail feather.
Shake
that's
your
what I'm
tail
doing.
feather. Whoa.
Wagging the tail feather.
Shake your tail feather.
Alright, so this week's Epic Beer Snobbery is now concluded.
Yep.
We're
Find
good.
it, drink it, enjoy it.
Yes.
And look for the beer floats over the summer. Because we're going to have to get another bottle of this and do that experiment with the rainbow sherbet and see what else our crazy minds come up with. No, I did not, Eli. Not yet.
Hey! We're actually saving that for next week.
Yeah, next week we're going to be doing
because
that.
it's a special cast that's very personal to Josh Feinics with our continuing series of The Enemy Within.
And this is volume 2 where we'll be covering depression.
Yes.
Now, depression is a very wide blanket term, and there are individualized special kinds of depression within that.
Yeah.
But
we're going to be keeping it pretty general.
Well, we're going to
try to keep
it for the most part.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it pretty general. And, you know, also I have to say that depression is a word that is maybe thrown around a little too freely when it comes to somebody's state of mind or their mental health.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are just like, "Oh, I'm just so depressed today," and then, I mean, as I said on last week's cast, I mean, I'm a diagnosed bipolar depressive. I have my low days, more low days than high days, until recently.
It's true.
And you know, it does rub me a little raw that everyone's like, "Oh, I'm just so depressed." Like, you don't even know what real depression is. But you know what? I'm going to tell you. Because one of the first symptoms of real depression is a persistent, sad, anxious, or quote-unquote empty mood.
Oh, so we're just going to dive right in?
Yeah.
We're just diving right in.
We're just going to dive right in.
Thank you, whoever the great cornholio are. We are the perfect combination of perfect and cute.
Well, you know what?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, but I will not give you TP for your bunghole, and yes, I am threatening you. There.
Thanos snap.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, in my low moods, I literally will feel hollow, empty, anxious about every little thing. Like, I hear a creak in the stairs, and it's just bad. It's not a great feeling. If you're a little sad and you're upset about something, say you're sad and upset about something. I'm like, oh, I'm so depressed.
Well, Zig says, big time, that's why I stay away from the word. And he also says, I'm full on ADHD and proud of it.
Be proud of who you are.
So, basically, one of the things that I was researching while I was doing my research on the depression, because while you may be a diagnosed bipolar, I'm a diagnosed borderline. I have borderline personality disorder, and we will be covering that in the last part of our series. That's part 5. And basically, with borderline, everybody gets that very confused because they say, like, the name is very confusing. And basically, I was watching a video on YouTube. I was with Erica's Prime, and I was watching something on YouTube that even I didn't know about my own disorder, and because I was looking to see how it ties into depression. And she's cute, he's a blurk. I love Eli. She's like, woo! Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was reading it, and this woman describes. She actually said, like, it was one of the things, like, how does bipolar differ from borderline?
Ooh, how?
Oh, yeah. And it's great because she actually compared it to where borderline would be New York State. Well, she used Florida because she's from Florida, but I'm using New York State because we're from New York. New York State is borderline. The weather is bipolar. So that's how she's described it. And the thing is also, people forget that as a borderline, you can also suffer from depression. You can also suffer from mania. Anxiety, PTSD, because I also have that too. And a lot of people don't understand that depression was a blanket term that was given to me before I was fully diagnosed. Mm-hmm. I was told by, like, so many different doctors, oh, she's just depressed. She's just depressed. Mm-hmm. No. It's not the same.
Not quite.
It's not like, yeah, I have my depressive moments and I have my ultimate lows the way you do. Mm-hmm. But it's different. And everybody needs to understand that depression can also come out and be expressed differently.
Yes. Now, to play devil's advocate for a moment.
I love devil's advocate.
Between depression and borderline, there are some shared symptoms where if you're a borderline and you're having an episode, you can have, feelings of hopelessness or pessimism. You can be very irritable. Trust me, I know.
I'm guilty of it for the last several days.
I mean, and one of the most glaring similarities is the loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities that you enjoy.
Right, which
when
can happen
you're having
even
a
if
depressive
you do...
episode, if you're having a borderline episode, you don't want to do the things you like to do.
No.
I mean, me personally, I know when I'm having a low day because, yes, as I go, lows are a symptom of many different health issues. But yes, full-on depression is just... when I'm on my low days, I'll admit, like, I have trouble even getting out of bed to, feed myself, shower, etc.
And when I'm having a low day, everything is fucking gonna piss me off. Everything. Like, you can literally, like, he'll hit me up and be like, hey, fuck you, what are you doing? That's how that's my low day.
And then I start sending her cat memes and it's okay.
Yeah. Send me cat pictures and I'm good. But, it's one of those things where it's like, my low day also, that can be one way that it describes itself. Another day will be where I literally won't get up out of bed sometimes for 2 or 3 days at a time. I won't clean up, I won't put on makeup, I won't wash my hair, I won't comb my hair, I won't, literally,
yeah, and then...
It's bad. And then
Pokemon trainers try to catch her because she's a Zubat.
No.
Gotta catch him. Oh, Pokemon.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, I won't play Pokemon. I won't play my video games. I won't watch TV.
I can't even tell you how many times I'll text her, I'm jumping on Smite. Do you want to come on? I don't feel like playing. Rawr! I'm just like, okay.
That's not even just like, it's most of the time where that's how he'll take it. It's text. So he's assuming I'm raw. But sometimes I'm literally like, meh.
Yeah.
But I'll never admit that.
No. She doesn't cry. Never.
Nope.
Never, ever. Never.
Yeah. It's
But,
very hard to make me cry. Dude, I broke a bone and I didn't cry.
Facts. That's true.
So, it's like, but like, that's just an example. Like, we have similar reactions, we have similar symptoms.
Yes.
But we're not the same.
When we're talking full-on textbook depression, there's also what they call, fancy SAT word, psychosomatic symptoms. Something's not good in your head and it's affecting your body. And you'll notice that in increased fatigue, decreased energy. You'll actually get aches, pains, headaches, cramps, even GI problems if you're in a full-on depressed episode.
Yeah, it's true. You will eat something and either throw up or immediately go poop.
Or me, who just has absolutely no interest in eating a goddamn thing.
It's true.
In my bad days, I've gone 2-3 days without eating, and I've just been living on like coffee and water.
It's true. And then
not even beer.
Yeah.
That's telling you when I'm depressed. When I don't want to drink a beer, that's when I'm depressed.
That's when I know something is really wrong. Where I'm like, hey man, come over, like, I'll make dinner and have a beer, and, we can just chill. And he's like, nah.
No, I'm not feeling it. I'm just going to stay in.
I mean, it gets really, like, this is how you know it's really bad with me. With me, I will not want to leave my room. I will not take care of my animals. Like, I'll feed them, and I'll clean up after them, but I won't play with them. I won't take them out for the long walks that they love and stuff like that. Like, I'm just like, the bare minimum that needs to be done. And then the telltale sign that I am in a very, 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 very bad way, and he knows this, is I say dumb shit. I get suicidal ideation if it gets really bad.
And then I pretty much go, you even tried, I'll slap the shit out of you.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to, but I'm just saying, like, when I hit that low, because with a borderline, I can't, it's like, it's different. My low will last, and it will last a long time if I'm not snapped out of it.
And her lows can literally be a crash, as opposed to me, I'll wake up already low.
Right.
But she, in the middle of a day, can just crash. I mean, I can too, but it's not maybe quite as
it's
steep
not
a crash.
As severe.
Yeah, it's not quite as steep a crash.
Yeah, like your crash, you could see it coming.
Yeah, it's gradual.
Yeah, you have your bipolar allows you to have the gradual crash, and like I can see the signs of it. So maybe sometimes we can head it off at the pass. With me, it's just out of nowhere. Like for no reason today. Well, a couple of reasons today, but like for no reason the last few days, I was at a fucking epic concert, and I'm still bleh.
Meh.
Yeah. And it's like, but I,
and on that on those psychosomatic symptoms and other telltale sign of real depression is severe changes in appetite or weight itself. As I said, when I'm severely depressed, I don't want to eat. And I will lose weight. I'll look like crap.
I've seen him. I knew that it was really bad when I saw him on a Tuesday. Then I saw him again on a Friday, and he looked like he dropped like 10, 15 pounds. And I was like, did you eat? No, I haven't been eating. Why the fuck haven't you been eating? And then, of course, then I'll get on his ass and literally shove food down his throat. Then he does the same shit to me when I don't do it. Because I don't eat. Ever.
Absolutely.
Like, how many times have I gotten yelled at by Erica's Prime? Because I don't eat. Ever. And he's just in there.
But I mean, even when you do, there's only
I
so much
still
you
don't
can
eat. Well, that's because of the surgery.
Yeah, I know.
But, like, he yells at me all the time, like, bitch, did you eat today?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I mean, and beyond all the symptoms, with depression, after these symptoms manifest themselves and people are seeing it, then you get even more depressed because, nobody wants to be with a Debbie Downer, so you start getting excluded from stuff.
Yep.
Which just makes your depression
worse.
And then people are just doing a great disservice to you if they insist on excluding you from everything just because you're depressed instead of trying to help. Welcome back. But, it's just bad.
Yeah, because the other thing is also, like, when you're in that depression spiral, and we know, I have tons of friends, like, literally, I don't know a single one of my friends that does not suffer from depression. Mm-hmm. I mean, it may not be clinical depression where they have to go on, like, medication, but it is a form of depression.
Yeah.
It is...
Not all depression requires medication.
Right. So... There are times where, like, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of this, where I know somebody is, like, depressed or in some type of way, and I just don't want to deal with it. Yeah. I'm guilty. I'm horrible. I know that's not how you're supposed to be, especially when you yourself have a mental disorder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sometimes you just can't help it.
No, you can't.
Especially if it's the kind of people that are always, I'm depressed, but for a fact they're not.
Eeyores.
Yeah, they're Eeyores. Or they're just like...
But you have to be careful with that, because there could be somebody that's Eeyoring out severely, and they're actually having a legitimate depressive episode. Right. And if you exclude them, that can fall into something further down in the symptom scale, which could be thoughts of death or suicide, or even possible attempts on your own life.
So, Eli says, when Morgan broke up with me, I was depressed as hell for a long time. I didn't eat, but goddamn if I didn't look fabulous. I laid on the floor in my mom's living room for 3 days.
Well, yeah,
understandable.
It's totally understandable, but we all know that not eating causes your body to break down muscle tissue and stuff, and that releases ketones. And I'm not going to get too clinical about it, but it's just generally not a good idea to not eat. Even if you're eating crackers and peanut butter, fucking eat something.
Yeah, I mean, but that also will increase because of one of the other signs is decreased energy or fatigue. Yes. Now here's the problem. A lot of these things are build-a-block kind of shit. So, obviously, your depression is not allowing you to eat. So, therefore, you're going to get tired. And you're going to feel even more tired because of the depression. And you don't want to eat because you're too tired to eat. And you don't want to eat. Yeah. So, it's just an endless cycle that just gets worse and worse and worse.
Or you could have the exact opposite as well, where you're feeling depressed and you start eating your feelings.
Oh. Yeah, or drinking them like me.
Yeah.
I'm guilty.
Yeah. We drink our feelings for the most part.
Well, that's the other thing. That's how you know it's really bad where I'm drunk. I never ever 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 get drunk. Do I?
No, not really. Neither of us do anymore.
Not even just at our tolerance level. I never let myself get drunk.
No, we've grown up.
Yeah, well,
it's a scary thought.
Us, the grown-ups?
Hell no.
Fuck out of here. But
yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately...
it sucks because unfortunately we gotta really learn who's just feeling and looking for attention.
And who's legitimately depressed.
Right.
And, we're gonna tiptoe ahead a little bit into some of the different...
Zig says he's guilty of the same.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Some of the ways that our conventional society has chosen to treat things. And first, I'm going to talk about psychotherapy, talk therapy, where
this is kind of talk therapy.
Yeah, it kind of is talk therapy, and you don't even have to pay us to sit on a couch.
Nope, but we listen.
Yep. But yeah, you go in, you can talk about what's making you depressed, what particular things will make you feel triggered or will set off your depressive episodes.
We did say trigger warning at the beginning of this, right? No, we
No,
didn't. Trigger warning.
But for the rest of this month, just consider it a trigger warning.
Yeah, dude.
Because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. We're doing different mental conditions every week.
Yep. This
For the
week is
month of May.
depression. Next week is bipolar.
Yes.
So all of our bipolar friends, I'm begging you to tune in.
I'm right there with you guys.
He's bipolar. Josh
So-
Phoenix is the poster child of the Phoenix Gate with bipolar disorder. Ta-da! We can when that happens. One of the things is when I was first diagnosed and they said that I had depression, they threw me on pills. That's all they did. They didn't even put me in. Thank you.
Hey, Michelle.
Yeah, it says I'm the psychotic tattoo chick everyone warned you about, when actually I'm the hot tattoo chick. Yeah. Okay. If I leave, it's not because I got triggered, it's because my computer did. Alright, cool. Good to know. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So you were saying that, like, a lot of people can do talk therapy for their depression, where I'm noticing, and unfortunately this is a theme that we've discovered through our jobs, through experience with our own mental health disorders.
Just stuff pills down their throat?
Just stuff pills down their fucking throat. Like, hey, you're depressed? Here, take Abilify, take Wellbutrin, take this, take that.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And it's all...
Go hide in a corner.
A lot of these psychiatrists will just use whatever pill they feel like, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna borrow a line from my medical school professor, and that's your mileage may vary, because Wellbutrin is an anti-anxiety, an antidepressant,
Also kills people.
and for me, when they
I
put
lost
me on
friends
it,
from Wellbutrin.
when they put me on it to quit smoking, I turned into the fucking Incredible Hulk.
He did.
I became so angry over the littlest thing.
Bad. We used to get into epic battles.
Epic rap battles of history.
Like those were some
Yeah.
fights. That's why I don't take meds anymore.
There you go.
Understood, dude. Seriously.
Hey, you got to do what's best for you. Now
They threw
there's
me
other
on, what'd they throw me on? They threw me on Xanax, and then
which is an anti-anxiety drug.
Right, and then they threw me on Abilify because the Xanax wasn't working. Then they switched me off of that, put me on Wellbutrin and Abilify at a stronger dose. Like, for some reason, Abilify just followed me wherever the hell it went.
Well, I think Abilify was giving doctors kickbacks in the early stages of it.
Probably. But,
prescribing
but
it.
not once did they ever sit there and say to me, go talk to someone, go find a group therapy session, go do this, go do that.
Yeah.
Why? Because insurance would not cover that, but it had no problem covering the massive amount of pills that they wanted me to throw down my throat.
Yeah. Now we're talking about depression, which brings us to the easy treatment, drug-wise, is antidepressants.
If
Personally,
they work.
yeah, I have a huge issue with antidepressants because, as we were saying, you can either not eat or you can eat your feelings. If you're
Right.
one of those that eats your feelings and you're taking antidepressants, so many of these antidepressants have weight gain as a side effect.
Yep.
When I went to the psychiatrist and he wanted to put me on a medication, I said flat out, there are two side effects that I refuse to accept no matter what you want to put me on, and one of them was weight gain. The other one we're not going to talk about.
Yeah. Was it erectile dysfunction or
Yes.
lack of
Yes,
interest
it was.
in sex?
No, it was erectile dysfunction.
Well, it depends on what they do, because honestly, there are some medications. I mean, okay, example again, when they threw me on the Wellbutrin because they thought I was...
Did you see that? They had me on trazodone and I was up for 3 days straight. Wow, that's an adverse reaction if I've ever heard one.
Whoa!
Trazodone's supposed to knock the shit out of you.
I guess it didn't work on
I guess
Michelle.
not. I guess not.
Holy crap! I mean, I've never been on trazodone. They never got me that far because I stopped taking my medication. I was like, no, this is you're medicating me
Yeah.
for a condition I don't have.
So,
So
yeah.
when they
Weight
put me
gain-
on the
weight gain-
Wellbutrin, I gained like 30 pounds.
Yeah,
30 pounds!
Weight
Like,
gain is a horrible side effect of antidepressants, which then makes you even
Even
more
more
depressed
depressed.
because you've gained weight.
it's true.
It's just,
Yeah,
I just
because you'll
I
sit
just
there, you're
can't.
like,
I just can't.
you'll
With
look
antidepressants.
you'll look in the mirror and you'll just be like, what the fuck is happening to me? Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I don't like they kept upping the dosage. Girl, I'm sorry.
Girl, let me tell you.
Girl.
And I mean, the problem is, especially, you're depressed, you're eating your feelings, the antidepressants are making you gain weight, which is making you even more depressed. And what's worse, most antidepressants, you can't drink while you're on them.
We do it anyway.
Some of you do, and it's not something I would personally advocate for. If you're not supposed to be drinking while on antidepressants, don't do it. It can literally kill you. I lucked out. The medication my doctor put me on has no reaction to alcohol. So, obviously, I'm still allowed to drink. Because then I would be having those suicidal thoughts and actions if I couldn't drink beer anymore.
I would...
Not saying, just saying.
Well, yeah, and then I'd have to slap the shit out of you.
Facts.
But, either way, it comes down to, like... Honestly... A lot of the thing is with the depression is a lot of the medication that they throw you on, they give you more side effects than you would actually cure the depression. And one thing that I've also noticed about every single type of medication that is out there for any type of mental disorder is they say you have to build the levels in your blood,
which
I can't fucking stand because it's like, no. Why should I have to build up levels in my bloodstream, which means that it's constantly going through my liver, my kidneys, and all this shit? Yes, I can still smack him, but, you know, you gotta get us get us a new subscriber on Twitch, I'll smack him. It's fair.
The things I do for my podcast.
I know, right? What was I saying? I was like, I don't agree with the fact that a medication that you take has to build up levels in your system to work. The pill itself is supposed to work.
Well,
why do I have to build up levels?
And I actually know the answer to this because that's what I had to do with the Lamictal. Was I had to build it up in my system, and there's a reason for that, at least Lamictal specifically.
She said, yay. As a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Anyways.
You need to build up Lamictal in your system because one of the major side effects that is, like, bad and could possibly kill you is Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which would first manifest as, like, a horrible burning rash.
Yeah.
So that's why the doctor had me on the low dose and slowly building it up to see if I would get that reaction. When I didn't, then he put me on the dose he wants me on.
Well, that's kind of like what they... Like, I was on Seroquel for a little while because, again...
There's another one that's just given to everybody pretty much.
My God. So I was on Seroquel for a little while because this is after my borderline diagnosis. But they were just like, oh, we'll try Seroquel for a little while.
Seroquel, Effexor,
Yep.
Abilify.
Yep, I was still on Abilify, but they put it at an even higher dose. And they kept saying,
I think the only real psych med that's fallen out of favor these days...
Xanax?
No, Xanax is still pretty popular. Tricyclic antidepressants.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, the other one was just in my head. Yeah, just...
Whee! That's another symptom of depression, by the way.
Yeah.
Where you forget things literally in the middle of that. I'm on that. She's on... You're on Seroquel?
Seroquel, Effexor...
Abilify.
Tricyclic antidepressants. We're talking about a lot of things.
Wellbutrin.
And now I remember what the other one was. And then for treating bipolar, lithium has really fallen out of favor.
Oh, yes.
But there's a reason for that, because lithium toxicity is a really serious condition.
Yeah, and lithium only goes so far for so long before they have to up your dosage, and that puts you prone to the toxicity. Yeah. So they discovered it's not good for you.
Even though, a fun side nature note, there actually is, I believe it's a stream or a lake or a river or something up in Saratoga Springs, New York, where the water naturally has lithium in it. It's just, there were solid lithium deposits in a mine somewhere. Oh, Zoloft. Okay, there we go. That's what she's on.
Yes.
But it runs through, the water was running through these lithium rocks, and it sublimates into the water. So the water had natural mood elevators in it, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but then we're talking about lithium toxicity. Yeah. If you're like a hardcore outdoorsman and you're drinking a lot of water, that could prove to be a problem. Plus, fish pee in that water. And beavers pee in that water. And all sorts of creatures pee in that water.
For anxiety, panic. Yep, they put me on the Zoloft for the anxiety. Like, this is the problem with the borderline. Bipolar disorder is chemical. That's the software of his brain. Borderline is my hardware, which literally means my brain does not work at all in certain areas and works too much in others. So it's not able to be controlled with medication the way depression is by itself. Anxiety is by itself. Bipolar is by itself. Any of that can be controlled with a combination.
I was never on Lyrica.
Neither was I. I stopped taking my medication after they put me on the Zoloft, Abilify, and Wellbutrin, and it almost killed me. So after that, I was like, nope, we're done here. We're done here. Because what's the big side effect that we always see with most of these antidepressant drugs is suicide.
Suicidal thoughts and actions.
Suicidal thoughts and actions. And if you're already depressed, you're going to be a little bit more prone to these actions to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to take a medication that makes it worse.
Agreed.
I'm just not. I mean, but that's me. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody here, anybody that's watching, anybody that's listening that
if you're
takes
on these
medication.
drugs and they work for you, no.
Then please continue. Continue on the drugs if they're working.
If they're working, go with it.
If not...
But actually, to tie into last week's cast on PTSD, some of the big risk factors for clinical depression include a family history of depression. So there actually is a genetic component to depression, they say.
There's a genetic component of borderline.
And just like PTSD, a major life change, a trauma, or stress can actually bring about latent depression. It's
true. Physical illnesses, like, I don't know a single person that doesn't have some kind of, like, crazy disease like...
Cancer.
You're going to tell me that cancer patients aren't depressed?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know people that don't suffer... Like, I have friends of mine, they have lupus, for example. Tiffany, my evil twin. Not his... He's my evil twin, kind of, but she's my evil twin.
She is evil twin.
She is the evil of the evil twin. You were like... she's got PTSD. We get it. We know, girl.
You're amongst friends.
You're amongst friends. If you listen to our last week's podcast, Michelle, you can hear all about PTSD because we covered it in week 1, part 1 of this series.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking... She was just recently diagnosed with lupus, and she also suffers from bipolar disorder. And depression. Like, and I've known Tiffany for almost as long as I've known you. If not longer. I've known her maybe a little bit longer than I've known you.
Okay.
Or around the same time. But for years, I had to, I was a front row seat to her bipolar, to her depression cycles.
And at a certain point, we both were.
Right. And then the thing is we never realized it was tied to... It's okay, girl, you can catch it on Podbean, and it's on our Facebook.
Just download Podbean on your phone or your computer, and you can watch, actually, all our episodes.
All of our episodes are there. You'll love it.
But, and then we're also going to talk about something. We find it manifests primarily in the elderly, and that's sundowning, which can cause depression due to medications.
Right.
Some of the medications, especially for our elders that have... Which kitty? I don't know which one.
I don't know which one. There's 7 in here.
Yeah, there's 7 of them in here, and there's 2 dogs as well.
Don't wake them up.
No.
They're asleep.
I know who just walked by.
King to Kitty?
Yeah.
Oh, because he was playing with his stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, sundowning, especially ones that have dementia. Some of the dementia meds will cause sundowning, which is a severe depression or altered mental status in the later hours of the day.
It's true. Diabetic patients?
Diabetic patients as well can get depression because, you lose a finger, you lose a toe, you lose a foot. You're going to be pretty damn depressed about that.
Yeah. Then you got people that...
Yep, that's Eclipse. That's Prince to Kitty.
Eclipse, my special boy.
Special.
No, not special. Special where he's always sick all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Bastard.
Well, he's a little special too.
He's a little special too. But he's eating right now. He went into the other room to eat his food. But, we're talking, the depression, again, we say is a blanket statement because it's tied into so many different disorders. It's tied into so many different things, like diseases and bipolar, borderline, psychosis, PTSD, all these things.
Depression is a big blanket for a lot of mental disorders, or it will creep into a lot of different mental disorders.
Or cause.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could start off as depression, and then eventually, because the depression gets so bad, you can develop different psychoses.
Yeah, and since we're still talking about medications...
Yes.
Antidepressants take somewhere within the realm of 2 to 4 weeks to even kick in.
That's what I'm saying.
You're thankfully, in small cumulative doses, when I started taking the Lamictal, I actually started feeling a little bit better every day.
Yeah, you did. I know, little black animal.
Yes, that is Prince to Kitty.
Ericus Prime brings up Prozac.
Prozac is still really popular these days.
Oh shit, okay, there's a lot of comments that I missed, guys. I'm sorry. Okay.
That would be ready, okay.
Eli said, I went to CSU because I didn't know how to handle being down for such a long time. I haven't drank my feelings in a good while, but I've done it. It happened to me when I was in Arkham. I refused it.
Haha.
The first time I ever had Haldol, it was a small dose, like 0.2 milligrams, and I felt like the world slowed down. Facts!
Yeah.
Fucking facts. Haldol is, swear to God, I thought I was Turtle.
Xanax made me feel
like I was a hummingbird. Yeah,
so
it did. It did.
Now I'm imagining her going around like the room going, bee, bee.
Like, I spoke super fast and was jittery. Prozac. Eric has probably mentioned Prozac. Prozac is evil. They had me on Prozac when it first came out.
And it's still widely prescribed today.
It is.
You
bitched less too.
Yeah, facts. I know I did, okay? I know I did.
Yeah, he did. Little black animal. Sorry, guys. I'm switching between our Twitch and our Facebook, so if I don't get to your comment right away, We're not ignoring you. I'm literally switching back and forth. So that's why you'll literally see me look up, and then look down, look up, and then look down. So, I don't know. Does that count as jittery?
No, I don't think that's really jittery. That's just, you got two cameras to look at, and we got screens to look at.
And whiskey. Lots and lots of whiskey. Mm-hmm. I love whiskey. It's my favorite.
Yes. Now, I don't personally think this is the greatest idea when it comes to treating any sort of mental disorder, but some doctors, where if it needs to really get super bad, they will resort to ECT. Now, for those that don't know, ECT is a very politically correct way of saying electroshock therapy. I am not an advocate of electroshock therapy. It fell out of favor
and then
in the civilized world for a reason, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason it's back now.
Well, it's also because many states, going on a small tangent real quick.
I love tangents!
A lot of states have rules on the books against capital punishment against the mentally disabled.
Anymore. Jupiter Thunder. Yes.
Crash!
Yeah.
But
bipolar.
That said, a lot of doctors believe that electroconvulsive therapy, or ECT, can sort of turn back the clock a little bit in traumatic brain injuries that cause people to be slow. I don't buy into it, but they believe it does, and that's why ECT first came back into popular thoughts.
Right, and the next thing they're going to turn around and say is that lobotomies work too. No, they don't.
No.
No, they don't.
Nope.
I actually have had ECT in the past. I have. It's not fun.
Nope.
It's one of those things where I had a bad episode. I ended up in, hospital.
Because you had a bad day?
Yeah. I ended up in the hospital for a little while. And again, this is before I was diagnosed as a borderline. I was just depressed, according to the doctors. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is not right. This is not working. So the doctor in the hospital turned around and said, let's try something different. And I was like, I was like 14, 15 at the time. And
yeah, it was probably right around the time we met.
Yeah, I was like 14, 15 at the time, and I couldn't say yes or no, and my parents had signed, they were just like, fine, whatever, do whatever it needs to get her out
Lock
of it.
her up and throw away the key!
No. But they were just like, do whatever it is to make her better. I think it was this was like right after my first suicide attempt. Like, I almost succeeded. It was bad. And, they did minor electroshock therapy. It was the worst thing I could quite possibly ever. I can't even describe it to you. I can't. It's bad. It's bad. But
no, it's not. I think it's a horrible, horrible thought. It's tantamount to torture in my mind.
It is torture. It is literally physical torture. It's just horrible. I can't even begin to describe it. Even on my worst day, I probably would never suggest that as a therapy.
No. Never.
Yeah. The best thing I've noticed about depression is talking about it.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's
talking about it.
Being around people who understand and don't judge.
And that's actually what we were just about to talk about, is things you can do that isn't ECT, that isn't medication, that isn't therapy, things that you can do yourself every day to make it a little bit better, try to help yourself. And first thing, no matter how bad you feel, try to stay active.
Yeah.
You know, if you got to run around the block a little bit for, 10, 15 minutes, make yourself feel a little better, get those endorphins going. Because those endorphins they're not only natural painkillers, they're also natural mood elevators. So get active. Run around the block a couple times. Set realistic goals for you to achieve every day. Okay, I'm going to do 2 loads of laundry today. That way when you get those 2 loads of laundry done, you feel accomplished.
Oh, okay. Somebody just subscribed to Twitch, so I kind of have to hit you now. I kind of have to hit you now.
The things I do for my podcast.
Oh, I don't think it was yeah, but just the fact that we have a new subscriber. There. You got that. I hope your friend Michelle saw that because I'm not doing it again. But
yeah, like I said, if you can achieve these realistic and simple goals, you're going to feel a little better. And as Jade just said, surround yourself with positive people. Positive.
Because, let's get one thing twisted. There's this quote that goes around online, and I love it. First, I'm probably misquoting it because I'm feeling my whiskey. As you can tell, because I'm a little red-faced right now.
Hi, Amanda. Hi.
Hi, Amanda. Hi. What was I saying? I was saying, before you diagnose yourself as depressed, please first figure out that you are not surrounded by assholes.
Yeah. You are not in a toxic environment.
Right, because here's the first thing about toxic people. They're gonna make you feel depressed.
They're gonna break you down to build themselves up.
Exactly.
And most likely they have some sort of disorder as well if they're breaking you down.
So my whole thing is also you never argue with stupid people either because they're gonna drag you down and beat you with experience.
Yeah. And jumping off of that, surround yourself with positive people that are going to be positive influence on your life. On the tail of that, never isolate yourself.
Ever.
Never.
Ever. I know it's a natural thing to do. I mean, I'm guilty. Mm-hmm. Do it. I've done it. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, don't talk to me. I won't answer my phone. I won't answer the phone. I won't answer text messages.
And that works on pretty much everybody but me. Because if she doesn't answer her phone, what happens, Jade?
You show up.
Exactly.
Why didn't you answer your phone? I was sleeping.
Well, I'm here now, so let me in.
Okay. Well, you have a key!
Well, here I have
a
key to the last nest.
Yeah. Actually, I know someone that's watching right now that can attest to this. One of the signs that I know I'm not in one of my good states of mind is, and he's been complaining about this, is I'm taking forever to answer his texts, and I normally don't do that. I also turned around and said today, don't come over. And I, again, don't do that. That's not my pattern. So that's what gave me the indication today, okay, I may not be good.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, something's not right.
Also, as we said,
don't isolate yourself.
Antidepressants will take somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks to actually take effect. And jumping off of that, once you've gotten into a therapy...
She wants me to punch you. I'm not going to punch him! You can do it.
But, yeah, when you get into a therapy of some sort, expect your mood to gradually improve. Don't expect to be better overnight, because that shit just ain't going to happen. Trust me, I've been there.
No, it's like one of those things where you can't just pop the pill and be all like, oh, I'm not depressed anymore.
Yeah,
hooray!
Don't believe the way psych meds work on TV.
It doesn't fucking work.
The only thing that's accurate to the way it works on TV is the B-52 cocktail.
That. The only thing I'm going to say is it's going to be an instant mood change is weed. CBD oil. Pot.
THC, CBD.
Any of that.
There's studies coming out every day to the point where
they wanted to use magic mushrooms to treat it, to treat different mental disorders.
But, in this day and age, weed has been seen as this horrible, insidious drug that's, a plague on our society.
Reefer madness! Reefer madness! No, it doesn't work.
But now, federal legalization is just on the horizon. People are finally starting to listen that there are positive medicinal effects to this plant. Now, I love my beer, but there is a phrase that I always refer to, and it's man-made beer, God-made pot, who do you trust?
Well, it depends on your religion. We're witches. We're herbalists.
What do you think?
Well, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not going to say that since I've, gotten myself into a certain way that I don't partake in a certain vaping type deal of things. But only to sleep.
Yeah.
Really only to sleep. I don't use it for anything else because honestly I'm a very bad insomniac. Again, it has to go with my mental disorders. And the depression does actually...
cause insomnia as well.
Yeah. Like, so some people will sleep for days and that depends on... I can either sleep for a few days or I'm up for 7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's part of the depression aspect of the borderline, and it's just that.
Yeah, and this next bullet point is very, very important.
Extremely Don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job.
Don't buy a car.
I'll admit there are times where I have been there, but I've had good reasons for quitting certain jobs.
Well, here's the thing, though. If the job is the source of your depression,
it wasn't the source of my depression, but it was the source of heavy drinking.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're the situation that you're at, we're not sitting here saying, don't do this. Bah. No, what we're saying is, if you have to make a major decision, please make sure that you have weighed all your options first. We understand that in a depressive state of mind, it's going to be harder to understand. You're not going to see black and white. Everything's going to be gray. You're going to have a different filter on. We get it. We understand. But we are also sitting here saying that if it's getting to a point where you feel there's no way out.
No, Eli, I was not happy there, and neither were you. We're talking about jobs being a source of your mental stress.
Yeah. Hi. What? Hello. What was my job?
Hey, lady.
Thanos snapped to that job.
Yeah. So that's actually kind of the way that I left that job. I kind of Thanos snapped at that job.
Bye. Anyways.
But also, just as important as not making any major life decisions, once you have a diagnosis, educate yourself.
Yeah.
Go on the internet. Go to the library. I know, library. Oh my God, what a concept. Read a book.
It's called Google.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, WebMD lies. Don't listen to WebMD.
Don't listen to WebMD.
No.
But go to the library, read books.
Not even just that. The best thing about the internet nowadays is, and again, social media is the devil and also an angel at this. You can find groups of people that are going through similar or the same thing you are. So you're never, ever, ever alone. Again, we said this last week. We're saying it again this week. You are never alone if ever you want a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen, non-judgmental, bipartisan, whatever.
Yeah.
Contact the Feinics Gate.
Yep.
On any of our social media, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. We're on Podbean. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Actually,
no,
I didn't get not iHeartRadio.
Spotify.
Thank you.
Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes.
But guys, reach out to us if you're afraid to reach out to your family. We said this last week. We're saying it again.
And if you don't feel comfortable with that, I'm going to give you the suicide hotline number right now. It can be anonymous. You can just talk to somebody.
Just talk to someone if you ever feel.
Once this truck goes by.
Yeah.
Right. The National Suicide Hotline. It's an 800-273-8255. It's anonymous. There are people there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
They even have a text. They have the text one. Give them the text one. There's a crisis text suicide hotline.
And
if you don't feel like talking, if you're afraid they'll hear your voice, you can text. We live in this day and age where we have a text suicide hotline if you're getting to a point where you need it.
You text the word CONNECT, all in caps, CONNECT, for those that are not spelling bee champs.
To 741-741.
741-741 in the continental United States.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be somebody there to help you.
Even if you're afraid of picking up the phone and calling the suicide hotline because you're afraid they're going to track you and send an ambulance to your house, they might, but they won't because it's anonymous.
It's anonymous, so they don't know where you live or anything like that.
Nope. Nope. But also, those are 2 outlets for you guys.
Yeah.
Just use them. Use them! If not, use your friends, use your family, use us. We're here for you. We're here for you. Mm-hmm. That's why we're doing this series.
And it's not even digitally through the internet. If you happen to be feeling a certain sort of way and you happen to be at a con we're at,
or a concert,
just come up to us, and we may originally say, like, listen, we need to take care of something right now.
No, we wouldn't even do that. We wouldn't even do that. We wouldn't even do that. If somebody comes up to us, and I don't care what we're doing, and they say, hey, listen, I saw your series, The Enemy Within, I want to talk to you about it, blah, 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 we will stop everything that we are fucking doing. I don't give a shit what it is, and talk to you. Well, I will.
Well, like I said, it depends.
I will do that.
If we're in the middle of shooting an interview, we're saying, just
stay
stay right here, don't go anywhere.
I don't care.
Give us 30 seconds.
I will literally leave that interview, have you handle the rest of it, and I will go talk to that person. I don't care.
Well, that is the smart way to go about it.
Yeah, there's 2 of us. We can divide and conquer. You know?
No, I said just keeping me with the interview while you go and talk.
Well, yeah, I'm better at it. No.
No, I'm the EDT whisperer.
Really? Okay. All right. We're not even going to get into how good I was at my job. Okay? Like, there's a reason why crazy recognizes crazy. They know. The suicide hotline isn't a bad thing. If called in through a payphone near a bridge, they talked me down and convincing that jumping wasn't worth it. There you go. They did not come send cops, fire, an ambulance for, our friend here. They just spoke to her. And half the time, that's what anybody who's going through crisis needs. That's what we are offering. And honestly, guys, that's really all we can really say on the subject. I mean...
But, we've been talking about the general depression. Now, just to touch base on a couple of the offshoots of depression.
Yep.
Now we're talking about things like postpartum depression, which happens, as we all know, when a woman gives birth. She loses interest in being with her child.
Or she'll kill it.
Or in extreme cases, she'll actually kill the child. There is a depression component that is attached to schizophrenia, which is called psychotic depression.
There's seasonal affective disorder. There's
which we call the SAD.
The SAD. And then, actually, believe it or not, there is shift disorder depression. People who work the night shift and never see daytime actually will have more chance of being depressed. Well, we both did. Will actually have a higher chance of getting depressed as opposed to somebody that works day shift. Meanwhile, I don't like the day shift because I'm a fucking vampire, so that's going to make me depressed.
We're night stalkers.
Night people.
I get my vitamin D in pill form.
I'm not going to say how I get mine. I'm going to drink. It's good. It's really delicious. Shut up.
That's the way, all right.
Anyways, we're not going there. This is supposed to be a serious podcast.
When is a podcast with us ever serious?
Well, we're on a serious thing. I can't be talking about dick jokes.
Cock joke.
Cock joke. Because, the vitamin D is good. Very good. Yes. Hi, Eric. My buddy Eric from the Wampas! Eric!
Yes.
We need Smite Night.
Smite Night, yeah.
Smite Night. We need Smite Night. Oh God, overnights were rough sometimes, and then she just goes, ew. Shut up!
Don't be a hater.
Just because you don't like cock doesn't mean I have to hate it. This good. It's good.
There, she said it.
I said it, and I'm not taking it back, Eli. I love you. Anyways. Yes, 'tis delicious. Amanda says it's delicious. I hope she's talking about the whiskey and not the dick.
I don't think she is.
Oh my God.
Not saying, just saying.
Oh my God. On that note, we need to go. Our time is up.
Yep.
We have to go. Because I'm almost out of liquor anyway. We gotta go.
Yep. So, thank you for tuning in to part 2 of our series, The Enemy Within.
Tune in next Wednesday for part 3, where we will be covering bipolar disorder again. Oh dear God, Amanda.
Squidward.
Oh my god. Anyways, we will be talking about bipolar disorder. This is something very personal to Josh Feinics, so we will be going longer than our normal hour. We will actually be going over an hour, depending on how how it goes, but we will be definitely going longer than our customary hour because this is very personal to Josh Feinics, and we want to make sure that every single bit is covered because we also know a lot of people that suffer from bipolar disorder.
And also tune in because we will be sampling yet another beer for Epic Beer Snobbery.
A foreign beer.
Yeah. We're going to be having a foreign alcoholic beverage next week.
Yes.
We're not going to say what it is,
No.
and for the person that gave it to me, don't spill the tea.
She's laughing.
Don't spill the tea on that.
Don't spill the beer or the sake. Mm-hmm.
So
That's the only hint you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only hint you're getting. But, again, guys, I will be at Kill Switch Engage at Terminal 5 tomorrow. So if you are tuning in or if you're catching this cast or you're listening to it on Podbean or wherever the hell you listen to our cast and you want to talk to me, it's very, very easy to spot me. I have hair the same color as the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
So I will be there at Terminal 5. Come up to me, say, hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, Eli says she may work that tomorrow.
Yeah, there was still an opening on the schedule.
Okay, well then, if you work it, you know how to find me, babe. Very easy to spot. And if you can't recognize the hair, you'll recognize the boobs. So
Yes, you will.
Come say, hey, what's up to me? Join us. Join me. I will be doing another for probably some more Epic Beer Snobbery, depending on what they have there. But yeah, so obviously tune in to us on all of our social media. And next week is very special.
Yep. Next week will be bipolar disorder. So thank you for tuning in to The Enemy Within Part 2. For Jade Feinics, this is Josh Feinics. You have been watching or listening to the Phoenix Gate Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, we will. So bye, bye, bye.
I love you, but bye.
We love you, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Let's turn this off. I don't know how to do it. Okay, oh my god, bye.
Oh my god, we need to stop. Yay.
Yay, no.
I've got mail. Yay.
Yay.